All right, pop quiz time. Here we go with Jay McMahon. All right, question number 1. The last Republican to serve as Massachusetts Attorney General was Elliot Richardson back in the 60s. He took office as AG in 1967. Prior to that, he served another role in state government. What was that? A, a state senator, B, lieutenant governor, or C, Secretary of Health and Human Services?
He was a lieutenant governor.
That is correct. All right, Richardson also served as Richard Nixon's Attorney General, resigning rather than carry out White House orders during Watergate. So true or false, Richardson was also Defense Secretary during the Nixon administration?
That's false.
It's actually true.
Whoa.
He was Defense Secretary for a brief period. I believe it was 4 months.
Yeah, a lot of people think he was deep throat. That was the...
He was not, though. We now know.
Yeah.
All right, let's try crime on the big screen. In 1987, Kevin Costner starred as Elliot Ness in The Untouchables. All right, here's your question. What Oscar-winning actor played Al Capone? Was it Al Pacino, Dustin Hoffman, or Robert De Niro?
Robert De Niro.
That's correct. All right, we're 2-1. All right, now Cape Cod question specifically. Cape Cod native. It's about Provincetown. True or false? In the 18th century, the Massachusetts General Court rejected a move to name the community Herringtown. Is that true or false?
I think it's false.
It is true.
Ooh.
All right, 2 for 2. Not bad. Those were tough ones.
All right, we're going to move on. Looking for a few quick yes or no answers, and I think I know the answer to the first one. Do you believe undocumented residents should have Massachusetts driver's licenses?
No.
Do you support voting by mail?
Not now. No.
Why?
Well, because first of all, the voting by mail was done 2 years ago because of the pandemic. The pandemic is over.
Right.
And they can vote early in any event.
But you don't support the new law that allows for mail-in voting?
I do not. But I will enforce it.
Because the legislature has spoken.
Absolutely.
All right. Should schools and private businesses be allowed to mandate vaccines?
No.
All right.
Would you sue private employers who do mandate it?
Well, that's interesting because it really is fact-based, but by and large, yes.
You would. Would you
Yes.
sue the state if the next governor upholds it?
Absolutely. Under constitutional grounds. Absolutely.
Well, that leads to our next question. One of the top priorities for the Attorney General is defending the governor and his or her administration from lawsuits and other legal problems. You potentially could have a Democrat in that office, Maura Healey. You could have a Republican. But politics aside, what do you do if Maura Healey takes the corner office and she does things like upholding Governor Baker's vaccine mandate?
I'll tell you what. Whoever the governor is, as long as they're operating within the confines of the Constitution, they're going to get a lot of support from me. I expect to have cooperation no matter who's there, meaning I'll cooperate with them. I'll go in, we'll discuss things. There's not going to be any sneaky political maneuvers in court trying to harass the governor, no matter who it is.
But some
I'm going to discuss things
I want to
with the
follow that up
governor.
because some conservatives might say that an employer is fully within their rights to set the terms of employment, and that might include a vaccine mandate. What's wrong with that?
Well, I can tell you right now, if it's a condition of employment, and it's especially like with unions, and they've discussed it, and they have contracted for that, it's been negotiated for, that's a completely different story.
All right. This is your 4th run for elective office. You've unsuccessfully run for the House, the Senate, and 4 years ago for Attorney General. Why is this race different?
Well, this race is different for a lot of reasons. The electorate, first of all, things have gotten a lot worse since I ran for Attorney General 4 years ago. We had deaths, opiate deaths, in a range of between 2,000 and 2,200. That's more than doubled now just last year. So we've got an opiate problem that nobody seems to be addressing it effectively. So that's number one. Number two, the economy. Although it doesn't affect the Attorney General's office specifically, I am finding out from everybody I'm talking to that they are very upset with the $5 gallon gas, $15 pound bacon, and our elderly who are on fixed incomes this winter are going to have to decide whether they're going to eat or heat, but they can't have both. So that is making the electorate look at us more.
Back to the Attorney General's race. Why is Andrea Campbell not qualified for this?
For a number of reasons. First of all, she's not a trial attorney. She hasn't been in all the courts where the Attorney General practices. I've been in every court of the Commonwealth and every level, state and federal. I've been before commissions and boards. And public safety is my number one issue. Where she is in favor of defunding the police, I'm just the opposite. Where she is in
She has
favor
not said
of taking,
she's in favor of defunding the police.
where she's in favor of taking away qualified immunity from police officers, I am against that. I believe that every police officer and first responder needs qualified immunity. We don't want people, when they only have split seconds to respond to an emergency situation, to have to second guess that they're going to be sued if they're not doing exactly what they need to do according to their training.
Jay McMahon is the Republican candidate for Attorney General. Jay, thanks for coming in. Good to see you.